How's it going, everyone? Welcome here to Dave and Buster's Vaughn. Luca Rosano on scene with a very special guest. We got one of the managers here, Chris, as we're going to be talking about some upcoming things to look forward to here at Dave and Buster's, and also do what we do best, and that is talk sports and talk about our love and appreciation for the Toronto Raptors. But before we get into that stuff, Chris, let the people know watching this video, what are some of the things that Dave and Buster's has in store for this fall, as it is going to be the sports mecca with everything coming back at once?
Of course. So we do, of course, play the UFC. All the big events will be played here as usual. World Cup, we do have it coming in November. Again, Canada did qualify, so
Yes.
we have a lot of that playing here. We'll obviously have a big crowd for the Canadian team that try to push them through group stages and qualifying, so we'll have a big turnout for that. Those are our major things, of course, with basketball coming back, the Kevin Durant saga. Will we get him? Will we won't get him? It'll be a big season for us regardless. We have, of course, Siakam coming back, Van Vliet coming back, we'll get Poor coming back. So looking forward to that, having that crowd in as well. And just playing those games, having those people in, having the fans back here and supporting our teams, right?
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about coming here is literally TVs everywhere. You got games, so you're not only watching games, you're playing games, you're having great times with friends, great food, drinks if you're of age to drink. It's a really good vibe here at Dave & Buster's Vaughn. It's amazing to see this place packed again, because obviously we had the pandemic, things were slow, but here we are, and there's a lot to look forward to. So if you're ever in the Vaughn area, come check out Dave & Buster's. They'll take care of you and they'll treat you like family. Okay, let's talk some sports now, Chris. So you mentioned a lot there, and one thing I did want to get your take on, the Kevin Durant stuff, the Kevin Durant saga. It's like every single day there's something new. In your opinion, what do you think happens? It was just yesterday, there was a report saying that he could retire, but then Kevin Durant debunked that and said, I ain't going anywhere, I'm not retiring. So where do you see KD playing when the NBA season resumes?
Very good question. I also saw a report that he wasn't going to play this whole year coming up as well, that he's going to hold out and see how it plays out. Where will he play? I want to say hopefully Toronto, but I don't want to lose too many pieces. I want to keep Scottie Barnes, maybe Trent and OG and some pieces like that, but not any of the big core pieces, not Van Vliet, Siakam, Barnes. Want to keep the core there. It's too many pieces, too many moving pieces to even know where it will land. He commands so many pieces and so many high prospect pieces from other teams that it's hard for a team to give up so much.
Yeah.
To get back so much uncertainty. You don't know, he hasn't really been in a place for too long to really settle down and establish a vibe with a city. So you're giving up a lot for, I think, a temporary solution. So I'm not sure. What's your opinion on it? What do you think?
That's well said. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Apparently the Nets asking price is way too high, where if you're a team looking to trade for Kevin Durant, it's like, if you're going to destroy your team and give up so many assets, then is Kevin Durant even worth it at that point? We've heard like some of the demands that the Nets have wanted, and it just doesn't make sense. From the Raptors standpoint, the Nets want Scottie Barnes. The Raptors are not willing to part ways with Scottie Barnes, which I think is the great decision. I mean, Scottie Barnes just won Rookie of the Year. You do not trade away your face of the franchise for an uncertainty now with Kevin Durant. Because here's the other thing, Chris. Kevin Durant, okay, you trade for him. 4 years left on the contract. What if after one season he pulls these shenanigans again and then he wants out?
Yep.
So then that team sacrificed their entire future for KD to once again be, I hate to put it like this, but a drama queen, right? So there's a lot of moving pieces, and I mean, if I had to make a prediction, I don't see a team trading for him, especially since these demands are too high. I see the Nets running it back, and then it's going to come down to if Kevin Durant would be willing to suit up for the Nets, or are we going to see another Ben Simmons situation play out this time in Brooklyn?
Who knows? Maybe if he sits out, the demands, what he wants, or the team wants, goes down, and we have something more affordable, a little hit that we can take to get him here that won't cost everything in the kitchen sink to give away, right?
Yeah.
So
would you be okay? Raptors just run it back as they are, no big trade, and this is their team?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we have a good core that just need to develop a little more. You have Gary Trent to develop, Scottie Barnes to develop. Once they get to that spot where once they get to that spot where they're all comfortable with each other and they get reps under their belt, I think they'll be okay together.
So with that being said, what are your expectations for this Raptors season? Assuming no last-minute trade happens, this is their team going into this year's campaign. How do you see this team faring in what will be a much better Eastern Conference? Not only the Raptors, a lot of other teams have gotten better as well. So when you kind of look at the Eastern Conference right now, where do you see the Raptors situated when it's all said and done? Where do you see them falling amongst the other teams?
They have to be at least a top 5 team. I see playoffs at least past the first round. But I think there's a lot of teams now they can beat. So at least top 5, top 4 in the East, I think, is a possible prediction.
Yeah.
With the way the team is built and the strengths they have and the way they can match up against other teams in the East, I think top 5 is realistic. Top 4 in that gap is realistic.
I agree with you. NBA.com did a ranking. I think they ranked the Raptors 5th. That's what they finished last season. I could see them getting back to that, if not a little bit better. And I know you're a betting man. You like to place your bets, as do I, and many of us. So Vegas actually set the over-under win total for the Raptors, 45.5.
45.5.
You going over or under? Yeah.
Over.
You didn't even wait until I finished the question. There you go.
100%. Well, that team they built, as long as everything stays the way it is, no injuries, no big situations where things change, over 45.
And the thing is, I think it's 10 out of the last 11 seasons, if I'm correct, the Raptors have gone over the win total. The one season they went under is the Tampa year, but obviously that paid off, getting Scottie Barnes, so it wasn't all lost. Who's one player on the Raptors team who you're really looking forward to, and a guy who you think can take that next step? You mentioned a couple of names there, Barnes, OG, Gary Trent Jr., one in particular that you're looking forward to and who you think for sure will take a step?
I think Scottie Barnes, with the step he took in the first year, they can only get higher from there. I think he'll have more of a focal role on the offense. They'll get the ball in his hands more. He's confident. You can trust his shot. I think everybody's building around him and can trust him with getting the ball and getting the shots off that he needs. So I think the team will trust him a little bit more, look for him a little bit more, get him a little bit more possessions and a little bit more offense built around him.
Yeah, I would like that.
So, and his development, he can only go higher from here, right? So.
And you're looking at some of the footage we've seen in the offseason. His shot looks a lot better. He's hitting threes. He's got a YouTube channel now showcasing his long range. And, I mean, if he's able to develop a consistent shot, especially from three-point range, man, look out. He's going to be that much more scary. And I do agree with that. I think Scottie Barnes is poised to take a leap. I did a video on that the other day. And when it comes to breakout player, because I look at leap and breakout as two different things. Leap is like, you know, you take that next step where you're already like a really good player. But breakout is a guy who I don't think a lot of people are banking on having a big season. And I thought he was on the screen over here, but it's actually Siakam. Precious Achiuwa. I think Precious will break out in the sense where he's going to have a really good season and maybe a lot of people aren't expecting it. And then, yeah, Scottie could have that leap where, let me ask you this, do you think it could be a big of a leap as him being an all-star as soon as this season?
I believe so. With the steps he's taken, even in the first year, I think he could be an all-star this year.
Yeah, and that's saying something because there's so many good players. But you know Scottie's going to have a lot of support of people voting for him.
Of course. Also, somebody else that could take a step is Flynn, Malachi Flynn. We've seen him in the summer. He's putting up 50 points a game, 60 points in a game. He didn't get a lot of playing time last year, but, you know, maybe get him a few minutes, see what he can do, right? Give him a chance.
I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities to prove himself. Another guy, Delano Banton. So it'll be interesting to see how Nick Nurse kind of distributes the playing time amongst those two players. But yeah, Flynn has looked really good. I mean, we've seen some of the highlights from this summer. I think he's waiting in the wing. I feel like he's right there, and I'm not ready to give up on him, and hopefully he has a big season. Looking ahead, I know we're not even into the preseason yet, but like, are there any other teams in the NBA that stand out to you as teams that you see getting significantly better than a season ago?
I think a lot of the teams are where they were last year in that realm of, you know, where they landed and where they'll begin. It's kind of close. A lot of trades this year. I'm trying to think of what's substantial.
I think the biggest one, looking at it now, was the Rudy Gobert one going to Minnesota. Not a lot of people saw that one come in.
But I think a lot of them will stay around, like in the East at least, around the same spot where they landed, with the exception of the Nets. We'll see if Ben Simmons plays. They say he'll play. They say he won't play. It's been a toss-up for the last how many years, so we'll see.
It's crazy.
If he gets playing time and he actually plays. But I think that's the biggest difference. Just the Nets in the East, not a lot.
So you think they're going to fall back dramatically?
I think they will fall back. Depending, because if you look at Simmons, he hasn't played in how many years, right? So will he be back to NBA speed as quickly as we think he is, or will he regress? Will he be that same dominant player he was?
Yeah.
That's the question. Will he be where he was?
Yeah, the Nets are fascinating in that sense because if everybody's on the same page and everybody plays, their roster is good enough to win a championship. But because there's so many things going on behind the scenes, where's KD's mentality going to be at? Where's Kyrie's mentality going to be at? Yeah, exactly with Ben Simmons. He hasn't played in so long. Will they be able to piece it together? If they don't piece it together, I mean, yeah, like they could be a team that could completely fall off the rails, and that'll give an opportunity to some other teams. A team that I look at making a bit of a leap, I'll give you two. I think the Detroit Pistons won't be as bad as they were last season. They had a really good draft. I think Kate Cunningham will also take a leap. So look for Detroit, I think, to flirt with the play-in tournament. And then also the Cavaliers. As you look at Evan Mobley, I think the Cavaliers are going to be another team that is going to be battling amongst the best teams in the East. So those are kind of two teams that I see.
Just building on that, I like the way Killian Hayes actually looks for Detroit as well. Get a little bit more touches, a little bit more play on the ball. I think he'll also help elevate the Pistons as well to a higher seeding than they were last season.
Anything else you're looking forward to? I know you're a huge ball fan, just like me.
I'm a huge ball fan.
What else are you looking forward to this sports season?
Soccer. I'm actually looking forward to World Cup soccer because finally, after how many years, we have a qualifying country, which is Canada, finally qualified. So I'm looking forward to see what they can do overseas and seeing if they can, at least make it through the group stages. And sky's the limit, right? They had us underestimated before, so hopefully we have no expectation now. They don't expect us to do well. And with no expectations, you can only more surprises, right? Surprise the country.
It's going to be crazy here because you're going to see everybody, whether it's for a Raptors game and then Canada game when the World Cup's in November. This place is going to be packed. Everybody's going to be rocking, wearing their jerseys. Again, you're a betting man. Canada making out of the group stage, yes or no? There's some good value if they do because they are being billed as the team that is going to make it out of the group stage.
My head and my heart differ. My heart says yes. My head and my pocketbook say no. There are some strong people in that group stage, Croatia. So I want to say yes. My heart says yes. My head says no. Don't hurt me for that. Don't kill me for that.
We're wishing Canada all the best, as we are the Raptors. It's going to be another amazing season. That's going to wrap up this video, guys. Chris, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you all again in the next video. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, and more importantly, be sure to come on in here at Dave and Buster's Vaughan for the next sporting event. Take care.